from the side of Impunity, and at a point in time, that team that took this comp out played it very, very well as well. And whether or not they can stand up to Samuel, who is, the third pick coming up from the side of Elite 8, is a whole nother equation, because Samuel is so strong once he gets his level 2. But based on draft alone, Asarai, which team are you rooting for?
I mean, it's kind of difficult to say because, I mean, from what I'm seeing, these two teams kind of have like, for Impunity side, you got yourself the try to tag you type of team, and then the other one's trying to, try to keep away from that tag. If that makes any sense. So maybe I'm just gonna be looking forward to how Impunity plays this out, because I'm just a big fan, or rather from last week, from last week. I'm a huge fan of the Taka Idris duo combo. Yeah.
And one more thing we must realize as well, it's that the lack of peel coming up from the side of Elite 8. No doubt they have the stronger early game in terms of the grace, that Samuel, when Samuel hits level 2, that power spike, and of course Poison Shift, the first item picked up at Vox, on Vox, will make him push out and deal out a lot of damage as well. So, and as for the side of Impunity, they are going for the comp that they want to dive into you, they want to execute, they want to go in and take down the main carry, which will be Fox, if not then Samuel, in every team fights because of the glaives afterburn, and adds Retsu from Taka, Shimmer Strike from Idris as well. So very vastly vast difference in the comms coming up from both teams, Elite 8, and of course the side of Impunity as well. One with dive, and of course one, who can take on dive, and with a lot of sustain coming up from the Poison Shift. And of course, from Samuel and the Corrupted Genius on his perk as well. Mm-hmm. But but there's one thing though, because it's just down to whether or not Elite 8 can push their early game. And do you think they could? Because I mean, Taka, he's very strong if you pick up double weapon blade, but it's not advisable because it's not very economical. What do you think Elite 8 should do? I mean, Impunity, they are looking very strong at this moment in time.
Well, looking at it, I do know, like, from before, like, what I think that was either Minimiter or I Request a Duel said to me that a Samuel has a level 2 spike when you get that, when you get the Drifting Dark plus the Malice and Verdict. So maybe they can go for an aggressive push into the lane, or maybe catch off any of the jungle or even the captain here of Impunity, just to get that, like you said, that early game win that they need. It's a possibility.
Yeah, definitely. And also because of how cheap the item coming up from Vox is as well, that Poison Shift, where you can pick up 4 minutes in, you will definitely outscale that of Idris in that of the early game. And on top of that, you've got a Scar, and you got the Grace, and of course that Samuel as well. But we have to understand one thing as well. Coming out from the side of Impunity, they've got a glaive. They will be running, hopefully the Roam glaive. That way, that glaive can just go up onto lane and just bug, Vox out of lane, or just pester and harass Vox out of lane. That way, forcing the entire jungle, and of course the Roma to come up onto lane as well, just to protect and babysit that Vox, so that Taka can just roam throughout the entire jungle coming up from the side of Elite 8.
Yeah.
But
so maybe,
like you said, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so maybe this is going to be the moment of truth for the Grace of Elite 8. Like, to be able to hit those really clutch Holy Novas just to stop all of this, I would say, dive that Impunity have. Maybe that's a way for them to get out of the, let's keep diving this Vox in the early game, and because he doesn't have the best of ranges, even though he does have some ability with that Sonic Zoom. Maybe we can catch him off because we have 3 diving heroes.
Well, definitely I must agree with you, but Dev Q on that Idris, his dive doesn't quite come in until Shimmer Strike. He hasn't got access to Shimmer Strike as well. Mm-hmm. And in the early game, if you are going to use your Shroud Stab, very haphazardly, or just try to chase, you might risk, in the next team fight, you do not have access to the health barrier, or when the enemy decides that it's a good time to just pull out another team fight. We do see Anime Save Me going in very, very deep from the side of Impunity.
And he will get caught out 3v1 situation. Anime Save Me, can he get away? He does have little bit of heal here, but he actually U-turns into, again, the jungle of Impunity. So this should be a first blood. I don't think the Grace will be able to escape. And there you have it. First blood taken by Impunity.
First blood taken by Impunity indeed, and that was Anime Saved Me, just not very aware of the surroundings. I mean, as a Grace, you have a very good early game. You can do invades, you can do solo invades. Problem with that is, if you are going to use... problem with that is that you do not have the escape available. Oh, we do see Official High trying to chase.
He's going to be super aggressive into this one. He actually stole the Trent, and now you can see that the Glaive is very low in HP, and that's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange. Actually, no, 1-for-0 exchange. And Official High still wants blood. He's chasing it onto Blucity here. And Blucity might have to respect him as they are looking to chase down onto the Trent. Who gets it? I think it was Anime Save Me. No, it's going to be Official High. And wow, they actually turned it back around. I thought it was going to be a good start for Impunity, but E8 flip a switch.
Yep, flipping switch indeed. And just a quick tidbit for the viewers out there. If you do see, you know, the damage icon, or rather the damage for the last hit coming up, ooh, we do see Grace going down yet again to Blue City on that Taka. But if you do see the blue damage coming out on the minion, it means the blue side got it. If it's orange or yellow damage numbers popping out on the minion, then it's the red side that got it. It's just it's just a very nice tidbit that Vainglory added in one of those patches that I guess is rather valuable when you know, the viewers watch and do not quite understand what's happening. Oh, Official High, and again going very aggressive. Ink is very low.
But now he's not alone this time. It's going to be Anasabi to hold his hand for the meantime. Goes in with the dash and gets down the Glaive. They're following up onto Blucity here just to steal his jungle. And Anasabi connects a nice Holy Nova that'll give enough room for them to keep the jungle away from Blucity. So Blucity not having the best of starts, even though he does have that 2-0-0. He can't find anything to actually get in the jungle.
Well, that's true as well. And like we said earlier on, Official High, or rather Samuel as a hero, he's just so good in the early game. Official High may be caught out right now. Blue City is half health.
Or who is actually caught out here? Official High. He is a Samuel. He got that Drifting Dark. He got that Malice and Verdict. And well, the verdict says it's gonna be Blue City to go down.
Well, yeah, I mean, Taka is going through a rather tough time and rough day coming into the first match of Split 2 and Week 3. And I mean, Official High on that Samuel is just playing so very well. There are a couple games back when Samuel is constantly banned out for the side of Elite 8, and we must know why. And it is probably because of how well he can, or rather Official High can play on this Samuel.
It looks like they want to go for more, as you said. He's just that effective on the Samuel. And once again, this Glaive will get caught out. My goodness, the dive comp for Impunity in the early game is getting, well, out-harassed, out-flanked, out-maneuvered in the jungle. Blue City tries to be a bit sneaky with his mobility, but still he gets caught out. He can't escape from that skill shot. And the only, I guess, saving grace here right now for Impunity is Def Q still is not doing bad at all in the lane. Look at that, 37-40 from Hun Jaegers.
Well, I mean, it is 4 minutes in, and it's always expected coming up from him.
That hurts. Oh my goodness, Official Line. He got the afterburn away. That was close though, very close.
That was very close. And as for pro players and CS-wise, it is always recommended to stay about a 12 or 11 to 12 CS per minute. So both laners, they are doing decently well. Of course, on DevQ, we've got 44 CS just to match up, like you said, Han Jaeger on that Fox as well. But the difference in CS really is coming out between the junglers itself. We have Samuel sitting on 34 CS, and of course, we have Blue City. It's slightly low at 19 CS, 5 minutes in. And it is looking rather dim for the side of Impunity, but one thing that we must know is that Blue City, or rather Taka, don't usually need an awful lot of farm to quite work in that of late game, because your items, you have the Storm Crown now, you are going to build into the Aftershock, hopefully, and not the Tension Bow.
Here we go. It's gonna be Ink to start off. Good connection on the stun onto Jaegers, but he just actually pushed him a bit too high up. Blue City and DefQ could not follow. No ultimates yet for any of the members of Impunity, so no Glimmer Strike, no Xretsu, so no Joy just yet.
Yep, no joy indeed. And I guess Shimmer Strike was available for DefQ at the point in time for that fight, but I don't think it is at all worth it to use. At least we do see the siege coming out from the side of Elite 8 as well, and they are playing very, very aggressively. You know, it is quite a reflection of all their previous games as well. When they were one of the top teams, they were very objective focused, and we do see Blue City going in.
Blue City going in indeed. There was actually a miss on the Holy Nova. Anime Save Me not doing so well to defend that, or rather official Hein, but still they get the 1-for-1. The damage was enough. I think it was Jaegers just kiting to his heart's content. But Blue City, as well as DefQ, they spotted Anime Save Me. Will they go for the dive? Is it enough? They don't have a lot of HP. And so maybe they should just back away. Anime Save Me going a bit aggressive. There's going to be DefQ with the fadeaway chakram. And he just backs off. So 1-for-1 trade.
1-for-1 indeed, and we do see Blue City just going into the side of Elite 8's jungle just to take away the mid healing, the mid treant, and of course the two smalls as well, and nothing much in terms of contest at this point in time. We do see a lot of pressure being placed in lane yet again.
Ooh, there's just going to be the poke that comes out from E8. Here's the backstab coming in from Blue City as well. He's going aggressive, dashes in. Look at the burst though. They immediately take down Jaegers, the Vox. Pretty good start coming in from Impunity on that fight. Oh, Glaive very low on HP as well as Blue City, but they're healing up as little as they can. DefQ goes aggressive. This Samuel, can he get away? Double dive! Blue City gets the last shot. DefQ will be tanking the turrets for the meantime to let this Taka escape the damage.
Taka is one of the very mobile heroes on the foes with that Kaiten, with that Tretsu, and especially that Kaiten. Although you have a lot of CCs coming out from the side of Elite 8, one thing about Taka is that Taka has got a wave. Can Kaiten over Holy Nova?
Oh, and the fight does not stop yet. Jaegers! Holy Nova! Holy 3-man Nova coming in from Anime Save Me. I think that just gave Jaegers enough time to port back to base.
Well, enough time indeed, and he does successfully go back to base. And there is one thing that, you know, I've noticed in a lot of these team fights, and although Official Hyde was very aggressive, has got 15 CS, about 15 CS over the side of Blue City, but you know, his impact coming into this game, or you know, in this stage of the game, is not as much as expected, because I mean, the side of Elite, or rather the side of Impunity, they are starting to get their items right now. Taka is slowly building towards an aftershock. He has got a Storm Crown completed. DefQ is sitting on a Poison Shift and Sorrow Blade and has got an infusion in his pocket just in case another fight do break out in the near future. And we do see Official High, all three of the team from both teams coming up to lane. We might be seeing a fight.
Here we go. Mono e-mono. Who will win? Who will start up? Blue City goes in aggressive, activates a Retsu. There's gonna be the afterburner from this Glaive. DefQ doesn't want to go in overly aggressive. Does he have the Shimmer Strike? Does he have the aggressiveness? But I don't think that's gonna be the case. Jaegers has been adamant with his kiting as well as Official Hein, and they will be able to take down a turret. They're destroyed. They even get a kill. So E8 has a pretty nice, I guess, uncontested fight in that one.
Definitely, and there's one thing as well. Looking at that fight alone, it just boggles my mind why there was no follow-up coming out from, you know, DefQ at all.
Oh, they want to. Can they get the gold one? Yes, they do! Oh, that was dirty! Inked actually gets it. There's the Shimmer Strike. Jaegers is a target, but no, they're just so low in HP. Blue City is going to do it. Police Ryu gets 1-2 shutdowns. And alright, wow, they actually steal the gold mine.
Blue City, I mean, Glaive stole the gold mine. Quite impressive, to be honest. And I was hoping for the side of Impunity to take it, at least because I mean, it is an objective for an objective, 300 goals to each of the team, just to balance out, just to balance out the goal difference between both of these teams. Granted, the side of Elite 8 has got, has got one up, or rather 1,000 goals ahead of Impunity, but at the end of the day, they do look quite even in terms of gameplay. That fight alone, it was just down to DevQ not following up, and thus, they lost in that fight. But had DevQ follow up, or rather, if it was a favorable position for DevQ and of course the side of Impunity, they will definitely win that fight, because they've just got so much CC and dive potential going on top of Han Diego and of course Official Hein as well. Even you can just afterburn Official Hein out of his drifting down, making his malices and verdicts not as empowered, not as painful as well. And their dodging abilities, because of being so mobile, you can dodge out of the CCs coming up from Grace and of course Oblivion from Official Hein.
Oh, they spot out DevQ. He will Shroud step away, so he's not in deep trouble for the meantime. And actually, that was actually a good point out from one of our comrades, that they said that right now in this match that Impunity aren't using the same combo that we saw the previous week, wherein it was a Taka and it just going inside the Taka. They're just going in one after the other, and I don't think they need to, because look at that. It's just going to be Glaive starting off with a good afterburner, and Anime Save Me is way out of position here. He's going to be trying to run away, but he's not going to be able to, and they can transition this into a gold mine if they wanted, but maybe just the jungle or even a tier 1 turret.
Yep, and just looking across at the builds, we do see a Now Wave Gauntlet pickup on the side on Ink for that Glaive, just to counter, the echo coming up from Grace. So Grace, while silenced by Now Wave Gauntlet on another fight, Mindbreaker, while they take this turret.
Jaegers is chasing down onto the Glaive, but that's not going to be enough. They do know that there is a Taka, sneaky Taka onto the sidelines. He's trying to kite back and forth, goes in again with the Chitin, but he's not going to actually survive. They don't want to dive into that one because they're not prepared. Their positioning is not that good. So Impunity will be getting at least a turret for one Glaive.
Yeah, for one Taka, they are going to get that turret, but they have to defend the second turret as well, as the side of E8 will be going in for the siege.
Holy Nova will miss. There's the Drifting Dark. They don't want to fight under that one. They should just back away. Forces out the Shimmer Strike onto DevQ to actually babysit, or baby back ride.
Baby back ride.
Sorry, right on the back of the Glaive. My bad, but yes. He just used the Shimmer Strike for safety. I should have just said.
Yep. Anyways, just to complete my point earlier on, we do see Ink on the Glaive picking out that Now We've Gauntlet just to counter, the Echo pickup coming out from Anime Save Me. So, which means at this point in time, the side of Elite 8, they do not, or the Greys do not have access. If Now We've Gauntlet connects to double healing from Divine Intervention, this might be a fight changer across. And we do see, if the side of Impunity do engage 3-on-3, they will definitely win, or they have got a higher chance of winning, as we saw in a lot of the team fights that were coming out from the side of from both teams. They are looking very, very equal now, with the side of Impunity is just 600 gold above in lead of compared to Elite 8. But Elite 8 at this point in time, they are still looking very strong. They have very good sieging sieging potential.
They're gonna start the fight off right now, right here and now. Han Jaeger is very low, but no! That's going to be the Drifting Dart to keep the Samuel alive for the meantime. 2 versus 2, but Lucidity is so low. Can Anime Save Me actually go for the chase? I think that's going to be a no. Kraken is awakened. That's actually not part of the fight, but DevQ goes aggressive. He's looking onto Official Hein. Official Hein will be porting back, but he's going to be able to escape. And that was a 1-for-1 team fight.
1-for-1 indeed, but it is a better one for the side of Impunity, as they are and will be starting this Kraken flare. Will catch them out coming out from the side of Anime Save Me. But whether or not they will continue, I mean, both of them are looking relatively healthy at this point in time, but they have to be wary of Elite 8. Both of these teams, they are playing rather equal coming into this particular stage of the game most of the time, or more often than not, generally trading one for one in terms of team fight. And when that does happen, you can't quite go in for, an extra, say, an objective like that of a Kraken, if not then a turret. So it is quite bad for both teams. They have to have a really good or clean team fight where casualties are kept to a minimal, or you pick up more enemies coming up from the side of E8. But there is one thing about Elite 8 as well, is that they do not need Kraken to push tower, as they have got a Samuel with the empowered Melissa and Verdict in Drifting Dark, and of course Hunt Jaeger and Anime Save Me on that Graze that can put out so much damage without much trying.
Are they gonna fight here at the choke? Maybe you don't want to go for that because, like I said, the Samuel pretty good as well on just kiting with the Drifting Dark. The poke at the choke is real. I actually noticed something looking at the items from Impunity. Inked buying an Echo. So what do you think is the ideology or the thought behind this Echo buy for the Glaive?
Well, I guess it's for the energy, and on top of that, you can stun someone twice. Or if you need it to get away, you need it to get in deeper. I guess Echo is a decent pickup coming up from Glaive. Because Afterburn is yet again a very good CC as well. It's a very good displacement ability. It's one of the more reliable one if you can hit those Afterburn. So imagine this, you Afterburn in, you hit Official Hind out of Drifting Dark, you Afterburn in again just to catch hold of Han Jaeger when he tries to get away. So I guess it is a very good item pickup besides...
but the fight breaks out. It just breaks out. I mean, it's just a little bit of a fight. Blue City will actually port back, so this is going to be weird if they dive in onto Glaive. This might not be a fight that Impunity want to take. The Kraken has been started, but Elite 8 just started it, so it's just, no finishing for now. Both teams just very careful of each other.
Yep, and also one more thing as well. It's kind of a trade-off. If you do pick up an Echo on, say, a utility hero or an off tank, like say that of Glaive, then of course you risk your tankiness, because honestly, Echo does not provide any defensive properties as compared to say another Crucible or even a Metal Jacket and Atlas Pauldron. It just allows you to use your abilities twice. So if they are going to look for the utility, they definitely do have it. They are flaring out each other. Poke is being exchanged. Taka maybe going in at this point in time.
X-Rexu activated. There's the Shimmer Strike as well. They're chasing down hard onto Samuel. One more might be it. But no, he survives. Official Hind, my goodness, this man is on dancing shoes because he is just going down tappy tap left and right and leaves only the Glaive to defend for Impunity. That's going to be the opening for Elite 8. Really good fight coming in from them, and Official Hind surviving with a sliver of HP. My goodness.
Yep, that was indeed a very good fight coming out from the side of Elite 8. And one more thing we must notice as well, it was just down to how Inked trigger that now we've gone till he used it a little too early into the team fight, and thus Grace was allowed to have access or had divine intervention twice. So that is one thing that Ink have to realize.
Is he gonna go for it? Can he go for it? Nah.
I personally do not think so. But and that is why Ink really has time to now with Gauntlet, right? And basically now with after Glaive after Grace divine intervention, not after it or even before it. Problem with that is that if you do that, then Grace will have access to a second divine intervention after she activates Echo and her team. On top of a lot of sustain coming up from the team, they have got more with their divine intervention. They are going to look to siege this tower. They will definitely get this tower, but whether or not they will break while losing members as well.
They force the fight once again. That Dark Rift, or Drifting Dark rather, is really helping out Official Hind keep longer in these fights, keep alive longer in these fights. And oh no, the Taka taken down. Nice afterburn coming in from the Glaive. Good damage as well from Def Q, but it's not going to be enough. They're chasing down onto the Glaive. Will they be able to escape? I think they will. Just set their eyes on the choke turret, and that's going to be another one. Official Hind and Enemy Saving plus the Kraken pretty high on HP, so Glaive, or rather Inked, will be hard fought to defend these last two remaining turrets. Can he do it? That's the question.
He can probably take or rather defend one turret, but when Blue City and DefQ comes up, the side of E8 will just bugger off, and this is what they do. They will just allow that of Glaive to push on. We do see Taka coming out.
Oh, they're gonna exchange it. Turret for a kill. Is that the wise decision to do? Taka's going aggressive onto the Grace as well as Official Hein, but he can't. They're just these are the front lines for E8. They're the ones who can tank, who can actually also CC any of the members of Impunity, so they can get away. Impunity, though, losing 2 turrets for just 1 Kraken, that is huge for E8.
I mean, that was just 4 turrets taken down really quickly from 1 Kraken push. So definitely huge for E8, what you said. But at this point in time, there is really no Lyra on the field to just assist in that backdoor or, just arcing passaging in. So I guess the side of Impunity, they can be rather safe, or they can just force this other team fight that they will be going in for.
They're going in for it aggressive. This might be make or break, but I'm missing something. The Shiver Strike does connect, but the heals just too damn good. They're going to be forcing them out once again after Burn for Ink just to keep Blue City alive. For the meantime, I see Kaidens away from the fight. They spot out DefQ. He will be having Shroud Step in a second, but the chase is real. This Grace is on fire! And Glaive, can he survive? Once again, he's the last remaining member here, and Blue City goes in a little bit ham, chasing down onto the last remaining members of E8, but this should be it. E8 don't even care. That Vayne is exposed, and they will break it down, yo.
They will breaking down. They'll break the glass. No, the Vayne crystal down. Indeed, I wanted to say glass because I was thinking shatter glass, an item in Vainglory first.
Yeah.
And as in shatter the Vayne as well, and that was why I my brain just decided to go poop on me, and I went like break the glass. But anyways, that was really good play coming out from the side of Elite 8. We do see as well that Glaive tried to punt Grace out of her divine intervention, but Crucible was used timely just to counter that stun coming up from Glaive. So at the end of the day, a lot of times, a lot of team fights we saw Impunity, when they go in, it is not as a team. A lot of them has got a lot of commitment issues coming into a lot of team fights as well. For our last team fight, we do see Inked halfway through a team fight, and both of his carries are down. He's still in the mustache bush in lane, still sitting there at full health. For one of the fights very early on, we do see DefQ as well not going into the fight, causing Blue City's and Ink's death. And for one of the mid fights, we do see Blue City constantly going in, but there is just not much follow-up from Ink, if not then DefQ. So that is one thing they have to work on, and that is commitment issues coming into team fights, because we do see Elite 8. They are working as a team. They are working as a power couple.
Yeah, plus, do you think this is also an issue right now for Impunity on that game? It feels like you said already, because of the itemization coming in from the Grace, you have the echoes, you got the double intervention for the insane heals. I think, like you said, the null wave only has 4 seconds, so it feels like Impunity had to have like this short amount of opening for them to actually get a pick off and then maybe start to snowball the fight. But it felt like every single time Official Hein or either Official Hein or Hun Jaeger survived with just a sliver of HP, and then Grace always got off like a heal to keep them alive, so that there was no pick off for Impunity.
There is one thing that we must know as well. It's that when Grace is channeling divine intervention, she is super vulnerable. I mean, disregarding the holy shields, the direction of holy shields that she has, she is still very vulnerable to damage, and of course CCs as well. What Ink had to do in a lot of team fights out there really is just a null wave gauntlet. When Grace was channeling, or rather after channeling that divine intervention, so Grace has got no access to echo. That way there is no 2 divine intervention. So that is one thing that the side of Impunity has to work on, and that is communication firstly, and of course the activatables that they have got access to. And that was one thing as well. that we must know and put in mind coming into this second match. Glaive is a very good pickup going up against Fox instead of the early game, but we did see as well E8 or rather official high on that. Samuel is just so strong. Anyways, draft is about ready. So, we are into draft at this point in time. So what do you think? Do you think Samuel is really that big threat coming into the first game between E8 and Impunity?
Well, I think in a way it's a yes, because it feels like Impunity have always been looking at the official Hein. I mean, as I've been looking at the fights, it feels like they've been trying to force themselves more on the Samuel rather than Hun, or rather on the official Hein rather than Hun Jaegers. But maybe this game we'll see something else. Maybe they'll just ban out the Samuel all throughout, because it's just a really weird hero to go up against. Although it's gonna be the ban first on the Batiste.
Yep, we are going to see a Batiste ban coming up from Impunity yet again. Impunity now, just a recap to all the viewers, or just to let the viewers know, we'll be on the blue side, and of course, Elite 8 on the red side. We are going to see the first ban of Batiste. Batiste is just such a good pick in the current meta, and even in 2.6 as well. His Ordain is just insane when you know how to time it right and when you can use it right. And of course, we can trust the side of Elite 8 on that Batiste, definitely. So Impunity has got utmost respect for that Batiste. We do see an Idris ban coming out from the side of Elite 8. And of course, in response to that, a Samuel being picked up for Impunity.
So they steal it from E8. So if they can't ban it, why not just steal it?
Well, true, if you cannot ban it, why not just take it away from the team that used it first? But then again, we saw Blue City on that Samuel as well, and Blue City is very, very strong on this particular hero, and he knows how to make sure he steamrolls through the early game once he gets level 2 with the Drifting Dog, and of course the Empowered Malices and Verdict. Like we said earlier on, that is their power spike. We do see a Lara banned out for the side of Elite 8 yet again, just to remove the other alternate healer from the fold.
This might be maybe a ban on the Glaive. So maybe they're setting up for something that is pretty susceptible to the Glaive. Maybe a setup on a Vox again.
Well, personally, honestly, coming into this game with Idris being banned out, the next most viable one would be that of Baron. But whether or not Elite 8 will pick up that Baron or Impunity, it's really the big question right now, because if Elite 8 do not pick up that Baron at this point in time, coming into the second phase of draft, then Impunity will definitely pick it up. But then we do see a Scarf coming out from the side of Elite 8. A Baron pickup at this point in time would not seem like the smartest choice yet. It would be preferable if the side of Elite 8 just go for the weapon Castro, work the early game, push down the turret as fast as possible, and then walk themselves slowly through the late game so as to counter that Scarf. We do see a Catherine being picked up. What will be their last pick, Asteroid? Do you think the Baron will be picked up, or they will just settle for that Fox? If not, then the weapon Adagio that we've seen quite often.
I feel like a Baron would be a pretty good combo right here, just because it's pretty easy to just reposition in the fights and you get so much damage come late game Baron. But we'll just have to see for the last pick as well. Or Kestrel. Okay, so maybe you are right. They're gonna go for that early game siege weapon power Kestrel.
Yep, and if the side of Elite 8 do pick up that Baron, then then of course Impunity would have the upper hand, because they can push really hard in the early game. Castrol is just so much stronger in that of the early game as well. We are going to see a Grumjaw coming out as well. So a Grumjaw does very well in the early game, but how well will the Grumjaw do going up against Samuel is another question altogether. I was expecting also a Koshka pickup, because a Koshka just does so well into a Samuel, but a Grumjaw does similar as well.
So this is both of these teams looking to offset the early game, just so that either the Scarf can start racking up, or just to catch off this Samuel from I guess, getting that level 2 spike.
Yep, and either that, we do see that, Scarf will be placed into the lane. That way, Scarf will have a lot of farm for the late game. And going into the Castro might have a hard time because we must know this. We are going to see a weapon Castro, and both of these can be considered mages as they have to stand on the spot to shoot. They are not very mobile heroes. Granted, Castro has got the active camo, can run away, especially a weapon one that can just dodge away even when you're under attack. But Scarf just does so well in terms of wave clear once he has got access to his goop, and even then he gets his items so fast in lane because Scarf honestly don't quite require that levels as well. But a lot of fights that will be happening will be down in the jungle, and whether or not this Samuel can fan this Grumjaw off successfully, because Grumjaw is just so strong. He has got a lot of dive-in potential as well with his A, and of course his ultimate, which is stuff. And in the late game, Grumjaw can just remove Samuel, if not then Castro, from the equation of a team fight, giving the side of Elite 8 the man advantage. So just judging from the two comms, and I broke both comms down, we know Samuel is very good in the early game. Catherine does well in the late game after she gets all the Captain of the Guard stacked, making her super tanky, and on top of that, she has got all the Storm Guards as well. And Storm Guard is in the bubble. And of course, we have a Castro that can push very good in the early game, and the siege potential coming up from the side of Impunity is just immense. Whereas on the side of Elite 8, they've got a mage that will be in lane, that can farm up, that will be very good in the late game. They can put out a lot of damage, has got very good siege potential, and on top of that, they've got a very good early game Roma and Captain in terms of Grace, and of course a super good early game Grumjaw. From this draft alone, who do you think will have the upper hand, Arthur?
Feeling from me and how Elite 8 have been playing during game 1, I think Elite 8 would be able to close this best of 3 out 2-0 easy.
Oh, you think that? Then
yeah.
go with that traditional caster objection thingy, and I would pick up. I'll go for the side of Impunity. So Impunity win. Hashtag if you want Impunity to win, and of course, if you want the side of Elite 8 to win, then hashtag Elite E8 win in the comment section below if you guys want to. But coming into this game, honestly, the side of E8 just looks just a little bit much stronger as compared to, say, Impunity. In that early game, we do see Castro has to be very wary of that fireball because she's not crystal after all. Her range isn't that far, and her splash damage on those glimmer shots will not do a lot of damage.
So nothing yet too aggressive, like you said. We are rather interestingly enough, because we were expecting maybe the Grumjaw to go, initiate something in the jungle, maybe to catch off the farming Blue City. But maybe just later, as they're looking to dive on the Castro, this is going to be pretty bad. Doesn't have the active camo just yet, and look at that official Heim blows him up. First blood going to be taken by E8.
Well, there you go. This is what I'm talking about. The early power of Grumjaw and the amount of tankiness he has with that leaving armor stacks that he has. And how you gain those stacks is really just by attacking. So the more aggressive you are as a Grumjaw, the tankier you are, the more passive you become and you play, then the less tanky you get. So honestly, E8 just looks like they have got a more robust early game comp, and of course they can subset their late game with that of Scarf, and of course the power coming up from Scarf producing quarter 4, replacing Ink on that Scarf position, now going on that Catherine being in lane just to be quite the harassment that we know Catherine to be, trying to build up those Captain of the Guard stack. 2 minutes in, we do see 1 stack on quarter 4, although it is quite expected to see 1 stack or 2 stacks per minute, but I guess quarter 4 is doing fine, at least for now.
Yeah. I have a feeling like if ever DefQ shows his face back in the lane, it's just gonna be E8 to rotate in again, because we've seen they have like a double dash heroes here with the Grumjaw, with that Grace, so it's not really out of the ordinary to see some maybe E8 rotating to the lane just to catch off DefQ. And you can see Impunity are kind of, I guess, accepting that fact, and they're putting Cordova back into maybe just going for the guard duty, while DefQ is still, I guess, a little bit hesitant to go aggressive, because right now E8 are looking to maybe break him down or break this turret. Either or, it's Impunity back onto the wall, or rather have their backs against the wall this early on.
Yeah, we do see the siege potential coming up from Elite 8, or especially on that Scarf in that early game. Hanjager maybe looking for something right now.
Oh, that positioning is a little bit dirty. DefQ very low into the HP. Where's the Grumpjaw? A little bit too far from the lane, but Anime saved me. Gonna body block some shots from Hanjager, so Hanjager's very low, but he'll be able to at least sidestep his way on out of there, as he is just chugging on a potion. Man, that was really close for DefQ. If Grumpjaw was there, he would have blown up easy. That was a little bit scary.
We do see as well that, Elite 8, they are just looking so much stronger as compared to the side of Impunity coming into this game. And honestly, it is just down to their early game pickup. We know Scarf, or rather, a lot of people know Scarf as that late game hero, but honestly, his burst damage in that of the early game is just a lot, and it's just insane, especially when you combine that Spitfire and Goop combo. And because since in the early game not a lot of heroes are exactly very mobile, you can take advantage of that Goop and Spitfire. All three are in lane right now. We might be seeing another fight.
He's overextending, and Anime saved me as well as Official Hein looking for the punish. Hanjagers could not follow up just yet. And E8, they go for a little bit of the poke, but Cordova is the front line here. He's going in. He doesn't have the ultimate just yet, but he can maybe merciless pursuit someone, stun them, and have a little bit of a lockdown here for the Kestrel and the Samuel to feast upon. I guess that's not going to be the case.
Yep, and quarter 4 as well, we realized that he cannot quite go in very deep with just 4 Captain of the Guard stack. If he does go, he'll be blown up by both Hanjager and Official Hein as well. We do see the side of EA, they are farming rather peculiarly, just allowing Hanjager to go through that jungle to pick up the ambient gold firstly, and on top of that as well, the levels. We do see Official Hein just turned 6, which means he has got that availability to staff, in which he can now, or rather the side of E8 now can just remove one entire player coming up from the side of Impunity from a fight, and they will have the man advantage coming onto as they siege this turret.
I'm trying to siege it. This is very low in terms of the HP. Drifting Dark used by Blue City. That's going to push back a little bit Elite 8. You can see how, I guess, respecting they are of that B skill from the Samuel. And for the meantime, it looks like Impunity are in the driver's seat, but Elite 8, I'm pretty sure they're not far behind. They're looking for an opening here. You have to give it, the Cordova has been zoning him out, still on level 5, so no Blast Tremor just yet. So, maybe what do you think is the reason why they're like giving so much of these, let's say, ambient code to Hanjagers?
Well, firstly, it's for the levels. It is just more, what would you call that? It's just better overall, more efficient if you do, have your jungles, because as a jungler you usually would stay in the jungle for say level 1 to level 4, and in which if you do have your laner to come down to just get this extra gold, it is firstly better for him. He gets his items faster, he gets his levels as well, because we do see at this point in time DefQ just turned 6, whereas Hanjager is turning 7. I say it as though it's an age, but you get the point. You get a point all in. Yeah, you get a point all in all. So when you have the level advantage, it is always better for you to siege first. Oh, Cordova is taken down to half health.
Ooh, that's good damage from Hanjagers. The stop from Official Hein. This is the pickup that Tremor, but it's just a little bit too late. And Blue City, oh no, his face must be blue from that one. And E8, they're going aggressive. Hanjager still has a lot of energy to work with, so they can siege all day long. Here comes Official Hein, goes in with the dash. There is the Dragon's Breath, and he is roasting alive DefQ. DefQ, does he have the range? Does he have the durability to keep himself alive? I guess the answer to that will be yes. And E8 take 1 down, 1 turret, 1 kill.
1 down, 1 turret, 1 kill. Indeed, although looking at the Q boards, we do see only 2 kills going over to the side of Elite 8. They are sitting at a very comfortable 2.5k gold lead. As per now, I'm not surprised. Oh, Anime Save Me just popped that reflex block of his, picking up that Crucible, so not much of a difference anyways. At the end of the day, they are going to go in for that gold mine, I hope, very soon as they do pick up one of the carries coming up from the side of Impunity. Impunity, at this point in time, although they have a lot of poke, and like I said, they've got the Samuel very good in the early game, but they are losing out, however, in a lot of team fights, and it's just because that immense poke coming out, or rather the ability or the immense poke coming out from Handjäger on that Scarf, able to zone, and on top of that able to damage as well. As we did see before the fight even happened, Quatervar was already at half health, and that way Quatervar wasn't allowed, was denied the ability to go in firstly, and on top of that couldn't do much for his team as well because it is just so very low. We do see all the roamers at this point in time picking up all of the items needed to just support the team with that Crucible, with that Fountain. So the next team fight will be everything, and it's just down to...
Quatervar is alone right now. Are they gonna stuff him? Yes, they do. Nom nom. Great into the captain of Impunity. He is very low, but Quatervar will be able to use that mobility from the Merciless Pursuit to actually do the opposite of Pursuit, which is to escape. I actually don't know the term, but yes, he's gonna be able to get away scot-free. 1 shot, 1 kill will be absorbed. They dive aggressive onto Blue City, but here we go. Oblivion connects from the Samuel and actually gets a pickoff, and that was important because that was Handjäger's taken down.
That was Handjäger taken down indeed, and really that was just Quatervar playing to his team fights and playing to his strengths, or his team strengths, really well. We did see Quatervar activated a Blast Tremor, and of course silencing the entirety of Elite 8. However, Anime Save Me did not have the Crucible up at a point in time, had to burn Crucible very early into the team fight at the re-engage, did not have it up, and thus Quatervar made full use of that knowledge, went in for the Blast Tremor, followed by the Oblivion, in which the side of Elite 8 couldn't block at all, and thus, Impunity has got the upper hand in that team fight. But Impunity, or rather Elite 8 at this time, although they've lost one hero, the side of Impunity is still unable to push into the turret. They are now looking for the gold miner. As I said earlier on, for the side of Elite 8, 1 shot, 1 kill just helped to secure that gold mine, and that is about what Castro can do.
Yeah, that was just a bit too early on the usage of the ultimate, but well, we've been seeing, like last week, a lot of good Kestrels, and a lot of good Kestrels, like just getting the steals, but maybe not now for DefQ. E8, they're looking to push, they have the advantage right now. Handjäger is so scary on his Scarf. In terms of the items, I think he has a Frostburn, Piercing Shard, and Eve of Harvest. So he got the damage. He
definitely has got the damage. He is building towards that Broken Myth at this point in time. They are looking to push this turret, if not find a fight. Official Hind, he has to be careful by taking tick damage coming up from the side of Impunity, else his living armor would start dropping, as we do see now. And one of the team fights at the side of Impunity won was because of Official Hind took a little too much poke coming up from Drifting Dark, and his living armor just dropped to nothing, making Official Hind really fragile. But they are just going to back up the side of Elite 8. They are just going to go by Scarf, completing that broken myth now. So if whenever Scarf do poke with those Spitfire and Goop, and if it lands and hits an enemy, he will start building up all these stacks, and on top of that, he has got Piercing at this point in time. That way, even if you do pick up the tier 1 shielding against him, which DefQ is not picking up, and Blue City isn't as well.
Oh no, this could be bad. Oh my goodness, no, the Catherine is so far from his team, and Quatervar is just a bit too late to the party. She's on the blast. Oblivion does not connect. It does push back on Jaeger's a bit, so maybe that was the saving grace for Impunity. Oh, the damage from the 1 shot, 1 kill. Will Quatervar go for the chase? Are they gonna go aggressive? E8 are very low in terms of the HP, popping out the Storm Guard just to give back what they gave, which is a heck of a lot of damage. I guess both teams will be able to survive scot-free.
Yep, they do respect each other very much, as we can tell. They are not really pushing every little advantage we do see, and they do have utmost respect for each other, as they are playing very, very cautiously around this Hanjega, if not an official hide. I had thought, you know, with that called out right there, the side of Elite 8 would have the slightest chance of winning that team fight, but Quarter 4 manages to put in, take out, and of course save, you know, his teammate with that blast tremor. And on top of that, we do see Quarter 4 at this point in time picking out that echo, which means access to blast tremor. So if the first one is blocked out, is managed, or rather Grace does block it out, then he has got the second one, in which it is just down to Hanjega, if not official Hein, to block out the silencers themselves. And one thing as well with that echo on Catherine, if you do not block out the first one, then you will not be mobile or be able to use your abilities at all, and that will kill a mage in any team fight, and that will silence the echo coming up from Grace as well if timed right. So very good pickup coming up from Quarter 4. I hope to see now with Gauntlet at least coming up from Quarter 4 on that Catherine, just to, oh, we saw that damage as well.
They're chasing it in. The stun connecting onto official high. He can't spot anyone yet to actually get the, I guess, the stuff off. So no joy for official Hein. There was the usage onto the intervention plus the echo pop from Enemy Save Me. So this is their second chance at initiation here. They're going aggressive. The Grumpja overextends. Official Hein very low on HP, and he might get picked off here. Uses the shield. Second intervention from Enemy Save Me. The heal is up. So the heal is not available anymore. E8. So they gotta be careful. They actually get the connection onto Enemy Save Me. He will be able to skadoodle on out of there. Hadjegers with the port back. Kraken has awakened, and Impunity might be able to break this turret. Yes, they do. And they're rotating, maybe going for a Kraken right here.
Yep, Impunity, they are starting to get a very, very confident at this point in time. Although, you know, just getting official hide, if you do manage to poke out a Grumjaw before Grumjaw could successfully go in to deal damage with you with Hangry, then definitely you have the upper hand, because he will go in fragile, he will go in without his living armor stacks. That way he doesn't have the extra defenses that he needs to just dive in really, really deep. And we saw just now, as long as Grumjaw hesitates even little, then you'll be bursted down by the enemies really, really quickly. And Impunity is just taking full advantage of that knowledge as well. We do see Quarter 4 going in just to scout out where the side of Elite 8 is. Castro, though, in a very dangerous position, might get caught up by Elite 8. Blue City maybe going back. Quarter 4 is taken very, very low.
If E8 get the sniff of anyone porting back into the base, they might immediately start this Kraken and end the lives of Impunity. But Impunity, on the opposite side, like you said, as long as they get the stun on the Grumpja, they should be fine. And I think the Kestrel has been pretty good in terms of the positioning. Coeur d'Ivoire, he might be able to get a lot of info here. There was a pop out of Hun Jaeger, so he's not looking into the brush just yet. And there you go. He will now.
Yep, we might be seeing a fight breaking out now.
And a fight breaks out. There's gonna be pandemonium. Oh, they spun out Def Q. That's gonna be huge. Can he connect the stuff? I don't think he will be able to onto Def Q, but he got a second best target, I think, which would be Coeur d'Ivoire. That leaves the very squishy targets of Impunity open to harassment. One shot, one kill. Hanjega super low. Coeur d'Ivoire right here. He's chasing him down. Activation Stormguard plus the Merciless Pursuit. Holy Nova, preemptive Holy Nova just for the safety. And Hun Jaegers, he's getting a lot of body blockage coming in from Enemy Save Me. And Impunity start to crack it.
They are starting to crack it. Han Jaeger is taken
down. He got blasted away, and that might prompt Impunity to go in. But here is official Hein. He is the angry Grumpjaw. He's going in aggressive, but he's got to respect that there's a lot of range or a lot of glimmer shots coming out from the Kestrel. So for the meantime, it looks like this is going to be an Impunity win.
It might be an Impunity win, but official Hein has got all his living armor stacks, so Coeur d'Ivoire is looking for more.
Oh, he's chasing him down. He does have his ultimate. Will he be able to deal the damage? There you go. he is connecting a lot of his basic attacks. So, like you said, the living armor, as long as he's able to connect that, he will be pretty tanky. And he's looking to show that as he survives a lot of the bombardment from the Samuel and the Catherine. Quartervault's going to be able to port back. And this, well, we've seen this happen from time to time. The tides of battle have actually shifted, and now E8 are getting a pretty uncontested Kraken. Will Quartervault reach in time? Oh, the clock is ticking. Can he do so? No, so close, Quartervault.
And Vinyan's OP as well, being able to take the anchor turret down to about half health without the side of Impunity even realizing. So I guess Vinians, they're just OP all in all together. So I mean, Blue City could have followed up, and they could have probably taken that Kraken or stolen that Kraken with that Oblivion. But honestly, because Blue City was forced to go up into lane to clear up that wave, else their turret will fall down. We might see another fight with Anime Save Me going in.
Whoa, that was weird. I thought Anime Save Me dashed in and then he just got back to the wall, but that's not going to be the point of priority right now, because you saw there's the choke turret being smashed by the Kraken, and the damage just so insane coming out from Hun Jaegers. Drifting Dark as well. Quartervault right here uses the ultimate. He's going to be able to at least give a little bit of breathing room from Impunity, but you know who doesn't give a breathing room? It's the Dragon's Breath from Hun Jaegers. You can't breathe in fire, and he just goes a little bit massive, but Dev Q from the back line takes him down, although this Kraken is, well, like her name persists, is Kraken at the turrets.
Well, Kraken's name, for the viewers that do not know, she's also she's also called by one of her, I guess it's endearment, and I think that's a real name as well. I don't think it's endearment, it's Helga.
Oh man, Helga.
Yeah, Helga. Let me do me some Helga.
That's a very mean name. That's why you know.
Well, I don't think, personally, I don't think it's a really mean name, but I guess it is what it is. She is one, but I mean, I guess it's quite worth it push coming up from the side of Elite 8. They did manage to crack open the base of Impunity, and on top of that, managed to take one turret down. Looking at the kill boards itself, Elite 8 is sitting at a mere 2k, 2k difference, or indeed, Quartervault may be looking to go in at this point in time. One shot, one kill does connect to Anime Save Me. They might be looking for another fight.
They are.
They are, but they couldn't find any, so they are just going to decide to reset. Infusions are running out across the boards. They need to refill on the infusions. Honestly, Hun Jaeger requires 250 more gold. Official High requires 240 more gold. Thus, I guess that is the reason why they are just backing off and not wanting to find that fight, because the side of Impunity, they are all infused up. And I was talking about it earlier as well. I was hoping to see now with Gauntlet coming out on Catherine, and I believe when Mini Mitre and I were casting yesterday, or rather the day before yesterday for Challenger Series, I was saying that Catherine, we don't often see now with Gauntlet on Catherine, but we are going to see it this time.
And that's going to be a triple silence if I ever saw one. Oh, the stun connecting onto the Grace. Official Hein finding a good opening to start numbing on people. The stuff to connect, but they have to still deal with DefQ, who is in on the back line. But oh, the perfect connection with the Goop from the Scarf, and they still win that duel. This could be the turnaround for Impunity. Anime Save Me is caught out right here, right now, and he shouldn't be able to escape. My goodness, what happened in that fight?
That fight was amazing. I mean, we did see Catherine being able to connect with that. Now with Gauntlet going in, the block was just a wee bit late. After that, now with Gauntlet connected, Blast Tremble was thrown down onto the entirety of the side of Elite 8, although Handega did manage to block it out at the end of the day, but then he had, or rather Quarterfall had got an echo, so Blast Tremor is out for a second time as well in that entire team fight, and that really was the reason, you know, instead of Impunity being able to chain all of the CCs together, and especially when you have now with Gauntlet, that is a 3.5 second silence, or is it 2.5 second silence, item silence, and on top of that, you've got, you know, your ability silence as 4 seconds. I'm sorry, item silence for the
From
side.
the null wave, yeah.
Yeah, from the null wave, and on top of that, you know, you've got your basic silence that silences for 2.5 seconds. So that way, you know, Anime Save Me was rather useless in the entirety of the team fight. Yet again, another team fight.
Another team fight breaks out, but this is just disgusting. Triple silence coming in, and Def Q has already gone past the point of no return in terms of just being a badass on this Kestrel. Gets the heal as well, and this could be GG for Elite 8. What a turnaround game on Jaeger's, trying to ramp up on his Dragon's Breath, but wouldn't really be able to get much impact from that one. And here you have it. Hell hath no wrath, like a Kraken spawn, and Impunity with one clash brings back the fight.
What a turnaround indeed for the side of Impunity. And, you know, like we all say, Vainglory is a game that could happen, and a turnaround can happen anytime. And we do see Impunity just bring an impressive game back. They were down one turret, and after one very good team fight, after picking up the now we've gone to